So this is Caron Nazario. He is a second lieutenant in the Army, and as you're about to see, he has no business wearing our nation's uniform. Now, a relatively routine traffic stop, what should have been a routine traffic stop, has turned into a national embarrassment, and he has made it a federal case. He was pulled over for not having license plates. He doesn't like the way the cops treated him. I don't like the way he treated the cops. And the media, they have blown the whole thing. Now, we're going to show you what happened, and we'll also show you what they say happened. It's very interesting. First, let's start with the media's summary of all this from Saturday night.
Police in the small town of Windsor, Virginia, find themselves in the national spotlight tonight. They're being sued by an Army officer who was Black and Latino after a traffic stop last December.
Interesting. Okay, a couple of things. The driver is Black and Latino. But I didn't hear anything about the ethnicity of the cops. Did you? I don't think so, but they almost always include that, right?
A white police officer charged with murder in the death of an apparently unarmed Black man.
The police officer, who was white and who was caught on a cell phone recording.
The officer who shot and killed him was white.
Whenever it's white, they mention it. But in this case, the officer, who, by the way, I think is on solid ground here, but it's interesting. His name is Joe Gutierrez. He's Latino, and they don't mention it. Why? Because it undermines the racial narrative that they want to spew. All right, let's continue with their report.
What happened next was caught on camera. CBS's Christina Ruffini has more.
Get out! Get out the car! Get out now!
I have not committed any crimes.
In body camera and cell phone video, Army Second Lieutenant Caron Nazario, still in his uniform, keeps his hands visible out the window of his new car, while two Windsor police officers, guns drawn, order him to get out.
The people who put together this report are dishonest. There's absolutely no way anyone evaluating the body cam or any other video of this incident could say he's keeping his hands up. For the previous 2 minutes, his hands were in the car.
Driver, roll the window down! Felony traffic stop. Put your hands out the window! Put your hands out the window! Turn the vehicle off, put your hands out the window! I can't tell. Put your hands out the window and turn the vehicle off!
The vehicle remains on, his hands remain in the car. Now you're about to see him. You know what he's doing in the car right now? Setting up his own camera so he has a potentially viral video.
He's not complying, Joe.
Come around your side.
Let me see your hands! How many occupants are in the vehicle?
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out. Open the door!
I'm not getting out the vehicle. What's going on?
Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
Get out of the car!
What's
now!
going on?
Get out of the car now.
I've been pulled over. You've been pulled over. I'm nervous, and I'm complying. He's going to think about it. He's just not ready to, no. Chewing his gum, totally chill. That's one cool cucumber. He's also really dumb.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped for a traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now. You're under arrest
For a traffic...
You're being detained, okay? You're being detained for
For a
obstruction of justice.
traffic violation, I do not have to get out the vehicle. You haven't even told me why I'm being stopped.
It's not up to you whether or not you committed the crime. Or at this point, you're supposed to obey, right? Now, they haven't used pepper spray, by the way. You've heard. They've asked him, they begged him almost to get out of the car and keep those hands up. Look at what happens next.
Get your hands...
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me.
You know what?
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
Back up,
I
Daniel.
didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Sir.
All right, he's pushing the hands away. Now let's go back to where we left the CBS report. Remember, they skipped all of that stuff, all right? It was just Nazario with his hands up asking questions, and then they sprayed him. Continue.
Nazario repeatedly asked why he's been pulled over. One of the two officers pepper sprays and kicks him.
Why am I being treated like this?
You're
Why?
not cooperating. Get on the ground.
He's then handcuffed while they search his car.
Not one word about his resistance and his refusal to comply. Not one word. More.
Attorney Jonathan Arthur is representing Nazario in a lawsuit filed earlier this month against the two officers.
Oh, yeah. Now he wants $1 million.
The incident report says Nazario was pulled over for not having tags displayed on his SUV. But the temporary dealer plate is visible in the officer's body cam video.
Okay, now, can you see that? Let's take it full. Let's look together. Those look like tinted windows. Can you see a license plate behind that glass? Can you possibly read a number? Also, by the way, I'm told that temporary tags are supposed to be in Virginia in the license plate frame, okay? So they had every right to pull him over. What's next?
The incident report says Nazario was pulled over for not having tags displayed on his SUV.
Okay, but the incident report also says a lot of other things that you guys aren't talking about. We brought out our yellow highlighter and found a few other things that the police said that he would not do or did do. Driver would not comply with verbal commands to turn vehicle off and place his hands on the vehicle. All kinds of things. They're focusing on that one thing about the license, okay? Also throughout the exchange with police, this man seems to think that he's above it all because he's in the military.
Get out of the car now.
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated.
You're still subject to our laws. Second Lieutenant Nazario, I don't think being in uniform puts you above anybody. It doesn't. You're actually subjected to more rules and regulations, base, off base. I was in the military. I got pulled over. I even had my license suspended once for going 75 and a 55. It's not a get out of jail or get out of a ticket card. It is not. All right. Now, they tried to reason with this guy and lower the temperature when they were talking to him. And they said, why were we yelling at you? Why do we pull our guns? Well, because you kept driving after we tried to pull you over.
We followed you for 1.5 miles with lights and sirens on, and you didn't pull over. I understand you want to get to a well-lit area, a well-lit area. I get that. But when we follow you that long, look at the climate this day, and against everybody, against us, against y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not out to hurt you, and I know you don't want to hurt me. That's not what it's about. What it's about is making sure that everybody goes home at the end of the day. So when you don't stop and you continue to proceed, our suspicions are raised. What's going on in the car? What don't he want us to see?
That's totally reasonable, isn't it? The police officer also then brought up the matter of the gun that was in the car. I think it's relevant. I also believe in Second Amendment rights, and he was registered and authorized to have this gun. But it was interesting, I think, that it was in there and potentially part of the story. And the officer said this.
Not to mention, you had a gun at your right leg. You get our perspective, though, on the safety issue for us as well? You get that?
Yeah, I do.
He does, but he went ahead and filed a lawsuit anyway. Those cops are in a lot of trouble. Let's think about cops and their perspective. Whenever they approach a car, there is the concern that there might be a weapon inside and something bad could happen to them. Have you seen this video from New Mexico? Officer was fatally shot. Started as a routine traffic stop. This happens. It's real. All right, it's time for some Trump truth.
Ultimately, I'm always right.
So in New York and in other cities, they have co-ops. You've heard of apartment co-ops, condo co-ops. You buy into a cooperative if you want a house or an apartment. You got to get approval of everybody who already lives there. In New York, they just passed a new law that says a co-op board has to explain why they reject anybody. Until now, they could do it for whatever reason and not tell you about it. You know who was complaining about that a long time ago? Donald Trump. In his book, Art of the Deal, he raised the issue. He said that these co-op boards, they can reject you for any reason they choose without explanation. It's a license to discriminate. He also said the worst part is that many of these people on the co-op boards actually get their kicks from showing off their power. This is all his summarizing why he so loved selling apartments to South Americans, Arabs, Asians, because a lot of them didn't have the connections to get into these co-ops. So they went to Trump Tower. It's kind of amazing. And they call him a xenophobe. We'll be right back.